Good morning. Welcome back to my channel. So today, you guys, I wanted to talk about social media and how sometimes taking a break away from that kind of stuff can be a really good thing to kind of just be disconnected from that, but more connected to reality. So I know in today's age in society, like Netflix and television and Instagram and all that stuff, even YouTube, hence I have a YouTube channel, is so popular these days, which is awesome. I mean, we all kind of like to have that kind of stuff around, don't get me wrong. But sometimes I think that you really miss out on things when you're constantly on your phone. So something that I try to make a really big effort is when I'm actually with people, I really try to get off of the phone and be present with that person. Just because it's one thing if you're like on your phone and you're listening rather than if you're actually like looking someone face to face, looking them in the eye and interacting with one another. Same as this is if you like take a picture of the sunset and then you look at it like firsthand. It's just so different, you guys. And something that's really sad to me is, I work in a restaurant and I see it all the time where people will be out on dates or like out to dinner with someone, whether it's a friend or whoever, and everyone on the phone is so disconnected with one another and they're all on their phones. I mean, I think that it's a serious addiction and a serious problem, and I don't think people comprehend the damage that it's actually doing. So like now, today, it's everyone so like, on their phone all the time that they don't really connect with one another. It's, for example, if you're waiting in an airport, you don't know anybody, and everybody has a phone, it's so easy to just get on there and kind of entertain yourself. Well, think about, 50 years ago when people were in the airport. They weren't on their phones. They were actually interacting with one another and talking to people. So it's kind of just making us more disconnected. And then the other reason behind that is it's so impressionable upon us today. It's had such a negative effect upon relationships. And that goes with like romantic relationships and then friendships. Think of how much drama gets stirred up over the internet. I mean, people always want to give their opinion, or they always want to lash out, or they feel like it's an easy way to escape or release things, which we're all guilty of doing that stuff. But let me tell you why those are bad to do over the internet is the reason why something is always better to do when it comes to like a confrontation, for example, personally, is because you can never read the context of a person's, what they're trying to say over a letter or over a text or over a comment. Whereas if you're person to person, you can really you could say the same thing in a million different tones, and it can be, interpreted a million different ways. So that's the reason why if you have drama going on, or someone hurts your feelings, or you really want to know like what's going on behind the scenes if someone does say something online, I challenge you to just reach out to that person firsthand and connect with them and ask them what's going on. Because it's always, you're never going to get the full story online either. That's why you can't take criticism online to heart and not take it personally, because people don't know you. I mean, I'm already getting a lot of hate on my YouTube channel for like speaking out about God, and people don't know me. So it's so easy for someone to watch 5 seconds of your life or make a judgment based on a 10-minute video, whatever you want to call it. And people are always going to have opinions. And that's the other thing with today's society. Everyone feels like they have to constantly defend themselves or talk about their opinion or why they're right or this or that. It's just, you guys, if you're connected with that kind of stuff, just really think about how negative it really is. And the other thing that goes along with that is relationships. Everybody's always on Instagram. Wow, I want to look like this person. Or guys are like, I've had so many girls be like, my boyfriend's just obsessed with Instagram and all these hot models and this and that. When you're not considering, these models usually have Facetune. They're making their bodies look longer and thinner, and they're photoshopping out, angles and cellulite and their skin and all of these things. So you're connected with something that completely has a filter over it. And you hear these guys all the time that are like, well, I want a girl that I could throw in the water and she looks good afterwards, because it's so true. On Instagram, everybody puts their best pictures with their best angles and all those filters, and you're able to make your hair look better and your skin look better and just all of these things. So the other thing I want you guys to consider is these people that you follow on Instagram, I want you to really think about how that benefits you. Now, if you're following somebody that's posting stuff about, fitness or healthy eating or healthy living, that's one thing, because that's positive. That's actually, if you're going to be on the internet, those are the types of things you should be feeding your mind with, is positive things. Now, if all the people that you follow online are nothing but like Instagram baddies, which, don't get me wrong, I like Instagram baddies too. Not talking badly about any of that stuff. Just want to put some things into perspective. Is usually these people have millions of dollars, okay? They have millions of dollars to upkeep the latest fashion, which we all know is expensive. Think about the stuff that's really relatable. It is so hard to relate to a millionaire's lifestyle where you're just so envious. Wow, I wish I had all those diamonds and that gold and all of the, the Balmain and just Balenciaga and all that stuff, which, once again, I like that stuff too. Just really want you to try to think about it from a different angle. Is if you're constantly looking at that stuff, you're going to be envious. You're going to want those things. You're going to be comparing yourself. So relationships are taking a toll on that too, with women and with men. We always have something to look at that's prettier, bigger, and better. So it disconnects us once again to what's really around you. Anybody could go on the internet and say, oh, I have, 100 guys on there that are ridiculously good looking. Okay, well, what about the people around you? What about right now? What about the people that are in front of you right now? It's so easy to, hit on someone online that's thousands of miles away. It's just, and then you're always comparing yourself to someone that's, like I said, in a sense, better than you. That's not okay. So when you're in a relationship, I can definitely understand why people get insecure with their boyfriends or girlfriends for being on there so much, which, it's easy access to connect with people that are so far away, and think of the detriment that could cause you, where you think it's harmless that you're flirting with someone that lives in a different state, or you're sending pictures or whatever. It's still wrong. You know what I mean? And then you're just, like I said, disconnected with actually what's going on around you. Another problem that I've noticed is people are more comfortable now talking over the phone than they are with meeting up in person, or actually I should rephrase that. People are more comfortable with texting these days and writing people than they are with calling them on the phones. So once again, that's even more disconnected. When you're actually talking to someone on the phone, it's better than text messages. You could say LOL all day long, but actually hearing somebody's laugh or reaction is so much more. But the point I'm getting at with that one is, then, you have this person, let's say that you've been friends with on Instagram for a long time, and then you meet them in person, and neither of you exchange any type of communication or interaction. It's almost like you look the other way, and it's almost kind of awkward, or you're like, how do I know that person? Oh yeah, we follow each other, blah, 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 whatever. Just think just think about it from that aspect. Is it's not a very good way to connect with people, and it's also a very fake way to connect with people. Once again, someone's going to post a picture where it's not very flattering, and you're going to be like, oh, well, they look like crap. Or someone's going to post a picture where they look really, really good, and then all of a sudden you get all these likes and you get all this attention when you look your best, and you've got all the filters and all this stuff, which is pretty normal. But think about what that does to you inside of here. Is, if you're constantly thinking, well, I only have to post certain pictures because people only respond to a certain thing, that once again is disconnecting you from yourself and your real you. That's why part of my videos, I like doing them unedited. I like having just that realness, and like, of course I want to put the Facetune on and all that good stuff, and I want a full face of makeup. Who has time for that every single day? It's not realistic. Now, the other bad thing behind Instagram and the social media thing is, think about how contradicting it is. Me, for example, when I go just to the basic Instagram where like everything is just open and you see everything, is most of the time it's all these celebrities, which, like I said, look perfect all the time. They have all this money to maintain what they look like. They have people who are editing their photos for them. You realize these models literally have people that they pay to crop their photos and Facetune them and edit them. That is their job. And then they post this kind of stuff. So they literally have professionals working day and night on helping their social media. And the second point to that is, I just had a brain fart, so excuse me. It's just, and then, so you're seeing all these, beautiful people that you're comparing yourself to constantly. And then what is underneath it? Macaroni and cheese and cookies and food and this and that. I mean, so then you're going, oh, I want to look like this person. And then you're tempted to go out and buy cookies and stuff because then it's food, and all these rich, famous people. I mean, not everybody's body type's the same. So it's like, you see one picture of someone looking super thin, and then you see all these, like recipes and all this like delicious food and stuff. So it's just like, what is the social media really doing to your thought process? I mean, it's all about consumption. That's the common denominator here. We are weapons of mass consumption. It's all about buying fashion, spending money on things, having the newest, latest, most expensive stuff, and also buying all this food that's not only terrible for you, but I mean, it's just like makes you crave things that aren't with you right now. So something that I actually just had a conversation with my girlfriend about is sometimes you have to completely break away from your phone. So I challenge you, try to be conscientious. If you're at the dinner table or something, some people do this as a game where everyone will put their phone in the middle of the, table, and nobody is allowed to get on their phone the whole time. And then the first person that answers their phone, has to pay for the whole bill or something like that. But, I mean, even when you're out doing stuff, like you could go to the beach and be with 10 people, and some people you'll notice are just on their phone the entire time. And then other people are actually like just doing their own thing, or they're swimming, or they're, so I promise too that once you disconnect yourself a little bit from those and you make more of a conscious effort to break away from that stuff, that you will start realizing around you how bad it is for us socially. I mean, we're human, you guys. We're meant to interact with each other, and that doesn't mean behind a computer. And that doesn't mean, and people seriously get their feelings hurt too because everyone has an opinion. I mean, holy cow, me, for example, I'm on here posting about positivity and how to make healthier choices in life and how to love one another, and I'm getting backslash for that. Can I let that bother me? Absolutely not, because these people don't really know me. And I already know if people actually knew who I was, they wouldn't have anything bad to say about me. There's nothing that they could say bad about me. But these people online don't know anything about who you really are. They don't know anything about your real life. So please don't take any of that personally either, or let that affect you, you know. And the other thing is, just try to be careful about what you say online. There have been so many times where like I'll see something and I'll like write it out, and then I'm like, no, you know, that's not very mature of you. Don't even write that. So try to hold back from you know, telling people what you feel all the time, and don't use social media as an outlet. We're so guilty of that. And once again, if you do that all the time, people are going to form an opinion about you. And that can, just like I said, be like a snowball effect into drama, and then you defending yourself, and then it becomes a battle, and then this person doesn't like you because they think this about you. And then, I mean, stuff is always twisted. So if you are going through something, don't post it on social media. Go call a friend or talk to somebody about it. 2, be careful about what you're posting. You know, and like I said, sometimes it's important to post the pictures that aren't as flattering. Sometimes it's important to show people that real side of you, because anybody is capable of putting on makeup and getting ready and looking perfect and posing 100 times and taking that one perfect photo and posting that. Is that reality? I mean, you really have to think about how much time we're spending to look good for other people. And then, like I said, what happens when someone meets you in person? Sometimes you don't get recognized. You know what I mean? I've heard that 100 times, where guys or even girls will meet somebody that they're friends with on Instagram and be like, that doesn't look like the same person. Or a guy's like, wow, you know, she took all of her makeup off and I had to like run for the door. So it's important to be more authentic, you guys. Don't be scared of people not liking what you look like on that real reel. Okay? And if those people don't like what they see, don't let that bother you. You want people to love you for you. You want people that, you know, you can hang out with wearing no makeup, that they don't care. You know what I mean? So I just want us to try to focus on what's really important today. Instagram isn't important. And if you like that, that's okay. But sometimes maybe it's good to take a break away from not only being on Instagram and looking at what other people are doing, because then, like I said, you're disconnecting from what's really going on in front of you. And then you're comparing your life, you're comparing everything to what someone else has. And it's just, it's negative on your self-esteem, you know, when you feel like, wow, I want this, or you're being envious of someone else, you know? So taking a break away from all of that stuff is really good for yourself and is really good for your relationships. So, I hope to help you guys with a couple of things. That's the whole purpose of my video. So if you have anything to say or any questions, don't forget to comment down below. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, that you like my videos, and subscribe for more good stuff. Like I said, my message is just to uplift you guys and help connect you with not only yourself, but with people around you that really matter. Okay? Hope you're having a good day. Thank you.